Is the church doing enough to help out in the community and where you live? That is a topic tonight on Connect. Recently, we had somebody write into our email address and they wanted to ask this question. It says, the church is constantly asking for money, but when the community is in need, churches seem to be nowhere to be found. I think that's a great question. What happens a lot of times is two things. One, a lot of churches do a lot of work that you might not see. And the second thing is there are a lot of churches not doing enough. We can't do anything about those churches other than maybe call them out when the time is appropriate. I can tell you that the church that I'm a pastor at, we do an awful lot of work in the community. We provide a lot of people who volunteer at the local homeless shelter and the food pantry. We help on the soup kitchen line, and we even set up in front of the homeless shelter whenever they don't have a lunch served, and we actually make them a lunch and give them clothing if they need it, and preach to them and sit around and talk to them and just minister to them. This is what the church should be doing. But what we don't do is brag about it, because otherwise we're really trying to boast on ourselves. The Bible tells us very clearly that we are not to boast, but we are to only boast in Jesus Christ, which is why a lot of things that you actually don't see that are happening in the local community are usually taken care of by churches with nobody is actually talking about it. The other part is, if you go to a church that isn't very involved, then you probably ought to say something to them. The local and foreign missions are a big part of every church that I'm aware of, but there certainly are there's some that aren't doing enough at all. What does the Word of God say about the works that we should be doing? I go to the book of James, chapter 2, verses 14. Now start from there. What good is it, my brothers, if someone says he has faith but does not have works? Can that faith save him? If a brother or sister is poorly clothed and lacking in daily food, and one of you says to them, go in peace, be warmed and filled, without giving them the things they needed for the body, what good is that? So also by faith itself, if it does not have works, is dead. James, which is the half-brother of Jesus, tells us in that passage that we've got to be doing what we can to help those who are in need. And a lot of times the churches are doing more than you even realize. But again, if your local church is not doing it, feel free to call them out for it. And if you want to get involved, find a Bible-teaching church that is involved in missions, because a lot of times you'll find out that a lot of work is being done from one hand without the other hand knowing it. Hope this helps. If you have any questions that you'd like us to answer, please email us at connect@highlandheightscc.com. Till next time.